Hey everybody, Wolfie here. I'm gonna take advantage of being in town here with all the puppies and stuff, and gonna do a bit of canning, experimental canning at that. We're gonna make some atomic frog balls, which are pretty much hot, spicy, pickled Brussel sprouts. So I started getting everything ready, so we'll go through what the ingredients and stuff are, and we'll get right to it. Okay, so here's our dry ingredients. We've got half a tablespoon of crushed red pepper, like hot peppers, um, half a tablespoon of celery salt, half a tablespoon of ground turmeric. Then we've got 1 tablespoon of ground mustard and 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. And can't read the package, is worth crap, but and then we've got 2/3 of a cup of sugar and 1.5 cups of vinegar. And that's all our basic ingredients, like for the brine. So we got that ready. Time to get the Brussels sprouts ready. Okay, now on to the fresh stuff. We've got our 6 cups of Brussels sprouts. We got a medium onion all diced up, a small hot, I can't remember the name of that pepper, but they're cute little buggers and they're hotter than heck. And we've got a jalapeno all diced up with the core in to add lots of extra heat, because, well, can't call them atomic frog balls if they're not atomic. So next thing we do, we got to put the Brussels sprouts in. I'll have to get a pot out for that. Get them on to cook for 5 minutes, and in that process I may also add the peppers in while they're cooking to get the flavor all right through them. Haven't decided 100% on that yet. Okay, so got the Brussels sprouts on. Time to start getting the brine ready. We got a fair bit of time for that, but we'll get to work on it. Sugar in. Vinegar. And just on the side of precaution, I think we're going to add more vinegar to the brine. So we don't run out while we're putting everything in the jars. Mustard and garlic, turmeric, celery seed, and chili peppers. Just mixed up, put on the boil, get everything dissolved together. Too much stuff going on in the kitchen. Okay, Brussels sprouts are on to boil. Brine's on to heat up and boil. Almost good to go. Well, here we go. Time to do some jarring of stuff here. Start by getting a couple jars out of the water bath. Now, one thing to remember when you start putting stuff in the jars, you definitely want to put things like your hot peppers, as far as I'm concerned anyway. You always put them in the bottom. That way once you add the brine, they float up through the spaces. Bunch of red pepper. Few slices of jalapeno per jar. 3 or 4 slices is lots. I'm using half pints here, so I get lots of jars of them. Not something you're going to eat a lot of at a time, so. And some slices onion. Now, we'll use the canning funnel here just to make it a little less messy. You're not going to fit a lot of these. Get the loose leaves out. You're not going to fit a lot of them into the jars. Between 6 and 8 of them. You don't pack them in tight. And that's about the whole process so far. We got the brine heating. We had a mishap with one burner. There's something spilled on it. So I'm going to have to clean that before I can use it again. Probably from me doing canning stuff. You want hot jars, hot Brussels sprouts. Yeah, looks like 8 or 9, might even be, for the smaller ones, might even be 10 in a jar here. Like I said, don't pack them in. You want them to sit relatively loose in the jar. So they float around in the brine. We'll get the other jars ready and go from there. Okay, so through the magical powers of the internet, we now have 5 jars, 8 Brussels sprouts in each, with quantity of onions, jalapeno peppers, and Scotch bonnet peppers. Look at that, I finally remembered what they were called. Now, we got to add the brine. It's been boiling away here for a few minutes, and it's ready to go. This stuff will stain pretty much anything it touches due to the mustard powder that's in it. So you definitely want to be careful with it. Don't spill it on your counter, or especially not on your clothes. Hoping I have enough for all the jars here. If not, I guess I gotta mix up a bit more and get it boiled as quickly as I can. Like I said, when you're prepping your jars, be sure to, or not your jars, packing your jars, not prepping them. Sure not to pack anything too tightly in it. You want the brine to get in between and all around everything. Now the advantage here is if you do run low on brine, I think I've got just enough here. No, I don't. That figures. Well, the bright side is all you got to do is heat up just straight white vinegar, which we'll do real quick here, and then start sealing up jars. Okay, the extra bit of vinegar done. Top up all the jars, make sure everything's got just enough in it. That one should be good. You want to make sure all the Brussels sprouts stay under the vinegar. You don't want to have too much. Or too little, for obvious reasons. Here we go. Next step, water bath, which is pretty much ready to go, I do believe. Okay, lids are on. You want to put your rings on just finger tight so you get a start to a seal. When you're handling these, keep in mind the jars are pretty hot. We have 5 jars ready to go into the canner, well, to the water bath. Give that a few moments to come back to a boil, then start the timer. You want to leave them in the water bath for 15 minutes. Some recipes and instructions call for them only being in there for 10, but I like to leave them in there that little bit longer. Better safe than sorry. Make sure you get a proper seal. While I'm waiting on them, I can do some cleanup and get ready for the final product. Okay, time for the moment of truth here. See if these things actually look like they turned out. Everything's still pretty hot, so towel for this hand. turned out pretty good. Anyone with the bright ideas to do some canning, which is actually a really good idea to learn to do, please always remember to use safety equipment, like the tools that are meant for this stuff. There we go. Let them cool. As you've probably just heard, one of them already popped. That one. That's always a good sign. Guaranteed seal, at least for now. Yep, there we go. Atomic frog balls. 5 half-pint jars. Not bad for an hour's worth of messing around in the kitchen. Gotta do something while I'm in town, right? Okay, everyone. You guys all have a great day. I'm gonna let these things cool off and get them put away. And at least a few jars will be heading for the cabin with me when I go back, and off we go. Hopefully they turn out. I'll have to make sure to let you know in a future video. One of my videos when I'm once again finally back to the cabin. Everyone have a great night. We'll talk to you all soon.